and they're going to be in 3 separate groups, each with a different coach.
Oh, great! Yeah, because last week you were saying they weren't sure where they'd be able to train, but that's
yeah,
good. That's good that they managed to get that all resolved. And so he's going to be in a group of 5 or 6 other kids and one coach sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there's 5 kids and 1 coach, and yeah, they're not really meant to interact with people from the other groups. Parents have to stay in the cars. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, really.
Good stuff.
But because it's being held at the club, we've had to sign official paperwork to say we give permission and all the rest of it.
Well, that's it's good for development. So, will he be working in a mixed group, or will it be kind of like the skill position players in one group and the forwards in another group, or is it kind of still too young really to have that kind of definition to the roles anyway, kind of thing?
No, it's they've got a group for the forwards, a group for the backs, and then it's like the half-backs and hookers.
Cool.
Which obviously Joshua's in. Unfortunately, his half-back partner, the Harrison, who normally plays with him, can't come back to training at the moment because his parents have concerns about his asthma still.
Oh, yeah.
And also his sister's just given birth. So, I mean, she doesn't live with them, but I guess maybe they're wanting to just
go and visit her in the garden and stuff. And
yeah.
No, that sounds all sensible. So he's going to be able to work on his passing and kicking skills, I guess, then, which is...
Yeah, and I guess just general fitness. I mean, obviously, I don't really know what the plan is yet. I'll know more after tomorrow.
Fair enough. It all sounds, kind of scary that lockdown's ending, but at the same time excited definitely for Joshua that he's getting back to some sort of normality and stuff for himself.
Yeah,
really
I think it does feel like, certainly for him, that things are getting more normal.
Yeah.
I guess that's the advantage of doing an outdoor activity rather than the other 2 dancing.
Yeah. Well, they can still dance, just on their own.
Yeah, Luke frequently does pirouettes around the house or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, we were off last week, but we didn't get to do as much stuff around the house and stuff as we wanted to because it rained a lot of the time.
It did. It was horrible.
Yeah, and we had a couple of problems. We got an oven delivered, but they couldn't fit it because there's some sort of problem with the ampage to the kitchen on our electrics board or whatever. So we need to get an electrician to sort that out. Sounds exciting. And we bought decking stain to repaint the decking that we've been left with in our garden from the people who lived here before. Yet we didn't buy enough, so we got through roughly half of the decking and had no paint left. So we had to go back to the B&Q the next day and get another tin, and then we still didn't have enough, and we're now left with like 3 boards not done of the decking, but everything else done. So that was a bit frustrating as well when we did manage to get that done in between the showers and thunderstorms over the last few days. But we did manage to finish our rewatching, or for Emma, the first time watching of The Sopranos, and so that was good. And we now moved on to gangster films. So we watched Goodfellas and The Godfathers Part 1 and 2. We've got Part 3 still to watch. So Emma's big into gangsters at the moment.
Excellent.
So my recommendation was on the Tuesday of last week. We did go out for a nice long walk, and we went to Anglezark Moor and a different reservoir. But basically my recommendation is the West Pennine Moors. I think it's kind of it's an area where maybe people don't go walking as much because it's not quite the same sort of area of natural beauty, or there's some other areas that you get even close by to that, or national park. You know, you've got the Peak District and the Lake District so near, and you've got like the Forest of Bowland as well in the Yorkshire Dales as well. So it's kind of overlooked a little bit, and it gets really boggy when it's wet almost all of the time. But actually, when it's dry, it's a really interesting place to walk around. And so we had a pretty full day walking around there, sort of on the quite a bit of it on the moors, some of it around the reservoir and that sort of stuff. So it was a nice walk, and it wasn't very busy. So if people are sort of worried about going to kind of these beauty spots and it being really, really busy, this wasn't super busy at all. And like, well, it's probably crap this week because it's rained so much over the last 3 or 4 days. But once we get a dry period again, I would strongly recommend going and exploring the West Pennine moors. Definitely is my recommendation, because we had a great day walking around.
Good.
And then we went and bought some beer because I didn't have enough beer on last week's episode.
You drank it all during last week's episode, didn't you?
Yeah, so we went and bought some more beer from a bottle shop type place, well, a can shop mostly, but sell a beer shop in Preston Market called Priest Town Brewing, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if anyone's in the Preston area, that's somewhere to go and get your beer from. The guy there was really good. He was very good at recommending stuff, and he didn't just recommend the most expensive stuff to us. Like he listened to kind of what we both liked and said, well, it's Emma's birthday this week, so we kind of want to lean more towards what she liked. And Emma picked out a couple of things herself, and then he picked out a couple of things as well. And one of the ones he picked out we didn't like so much, but one of the ones we picked out we really liked. So that was good as well.
Yeah, sounds positive. Sounds nice.
It was nice, yeah. So that was. I mean, it was a week off, so it was not working, not being stressed about working.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of we kind of experienced what a lot of people who've been furlough leave and that sort of stuff have experienced, and it made me feel quite lucky that I have had my job, because even though it's been a very stressful period, I don't know what I would have done for like 10 weeks, 12 weeks of watching TV and stuff.
I know it's easy to see how people can become very sort of despondent and down about things, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see that
yourself.
Like everyone's got challenges both ways around, I think, and
yeah.
And there was times when I've been working so busy and hard that I've been thinking it'd be nice to have those days off and get your 80% or whatever, and just sit in front of the telly or get stuff done. But then at the same time, when I had a week off, I couldn't get some stuff done because of weather and stuff like that, or just annoying electric situations. But also quite, but like I was not glad to go back to work, but glad to have more structure back to my days from this week.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Anyway, next week, it's Alan who is going to be co-hosting with me. Sarah and Tim might come along, might not. We'll figure out what you guys want to do during the week and stuff. But we haven't got a topic to talk about next week as such yet. Probably something might come out about rules or restarts or something like that potentially, that we can talk about. Or maybe we just have a quick show next week. Might be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Anyway, but thanks to everyone for sort of being involved in this week's show with those 2 polls in particular. They were created some great talking points. If you want to get in touch with us on our social media and things, it's at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or facebook.com/Super League Pod. Please do follow us, retweet our tweets, share our posts on Facebook, and like our Facebook page and stuff. It all helps get more listeners involved so that we've got more of your views to talk about next time around. If you want to send us something in a little bit longer, I want to get in touch with a story about your lockdown rugby league life or what have you, superleaguepod@gmail.com is where you can send longer form stuff to. Check out superleaguepod.com for our episode blog post. That's where you'll see the links to send us your match reviews, send us your views on any news stories that pique your interest over the week, and also get important information about our sponsors and partners, who Sarah will run through for you in a second. In terms of where you can find the show to listen to, if you've stumbled across us and don't like where you found us, think there's something better, we are on most of your podcast apps out there and on YouTube too, but Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, anywhere you normally find your podcasts. Do you want to take the listeners through our partners, Sarah?
Yes, I have it open and ready to go. So our partner sponsors are Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. Enter SLP discount on checkout at Rob's Toy Shop and get 5% cash back on orders over £5, plus give 1% cash back to SLP. Little Warden, vital alerts for hidden issues. Head to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you. Mascot Browns, for all your international rugby league gear, use our link shown on the episode blog post and we get 8% of your order value to help our running costs. And finally, Sarah's Bookcase, where you can get a wide range of books from baby to teenager. And check that out on Facebook at Sarah's Bookcase.
Yeah, there's something for everyone.
There is indeed, and I'm going to send Mark some magic painting because he doesn't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is at all.
Can't believe it.
But any new releases or anything to tell the listeners about that they might be interested in?
What have we got out? The Great Dodo comeback that I would mention that Anna is really enjoying, that was released. It'll be in shops this month, but we had it last month. The 25th of June is our next new titles release, so that's always quite exciting.
Excellent. So you'll be putting plenty of stuff up on the Sarah's Bookcase Facebook page in particular. But you're also on other social media, aren't you? If people don't use Facebook, they can find you on Twitter.
Twitter and Instagram, but I must admit I'm not the best at those two.
No. No, but certainly the Facebook page is a good place to go to as well.
Yeah.
Follow
Definitely.
along and see what's going on over at Sarah's Bookcase. Excellent stuff, Sarah. Thanks to you for another fun chat through Rugby League land, and thanks to you. All of our listeners for joining us for said chat. Thanks for listening to your favourite Rugby League podcast, the Super League Pod.
Yeah. Bye.